powers are legendary. Their origins are unknown. Their methods are extreme.
And the game is on.
XLG, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Alright guys, Josh has been pretty sick this week, and I guess there's some baseball team in Chicago that's doing alright, and it's making his job a little busy this week. So, we don't have time to do the show, and I guess I could just let it ride and do nothing, but that's not really my style. I think you all know that. So, we're going to put it together real fast just to me, but it's going to go really fast because I really don't feel like talking for 30 minutes. I'm pretty damn sure you don't want to hear me talk for 30 minutes. So let's knock this out really fast. First, last week's recap for the picks. Someone, me, again won the week by going 5-1-1. All these picks will have a 1 because we did have a tie last week between Josh and Adam's teams. So I went 5-1-1, and the only team that I didn't pick right was Joski. So as in the last video, you know, that hurt a little too, Joe. You know, that hurt. I had my own little share moment for you. Don't worry. But that's okay. And then Tree, who joined us again, she went 4-1-1, which is really nice, real good. Adama went 3-1-1, and Josh, who I think some of his picks were actually just contrarian to mine to try to make up some ground, he went 2-1-1. And again, this week he's been really sick, so this week he wasn't able to punch his in. So I'm only going to be giving out my picks. I told him to give me his picks, but he says he's going to let it ride this week. So he's going to be really far behind in the points, but that's okay. I understand. So let's knock it out. The first matchup we have for this week is Adamas Llamas versus OG Billy Witch Doctor, which would be, of course, me. I made all my picks, I think, like on Tuesday, my Tuesday night, which is like your Monday, you know, your Tuesday morning. But, yeah, so I really wanted to change a couple of these, but again, I also got really busy myself this week, and I probably would have changed this one because, you know, it's me. But when I made these picks, I was having a rough day. I had those feelings like, man, every time I think I got it all made, and, you know, everything's turning up roses, there's always that one goddamn thorn. And I had this feeling like, you know what? If I'm going to win this game, I got to pick Adama to win it. Because I can't win it with the upset and still win the pick'em. So I got to sacrifice one of them. So I did. I gave him the pick'em. I don't think it's going to work still, because I do think he's still going to win. He has Kareem Hunt and Sean McCoy going just like every week, and that's just two freaking bulldozers knocking down the doors. He also does have Minnesota's defense playing the rookie Trubisky coming in for his first game, which could be really nice as well. I had to pull out some dire straits here, and I had to play Doug Martin, fresh off his suspension. Of course, we know now that didn't turn out to be so bad, but, you know, before the game. And I'm also still rolling with Jared Goff. You know, I had a little pull here and there, different ways. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stick with Jared Goff for 1 week, see what happens. He is at home, but it's against Seattle. So we'll see what happens. But maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to get some points on the board and give me a win. Again, this week, there's only me. So instead of doing a boom or bust picks where, you know, I give a suggestion and Josh will call and he'll give one, I'll make a call, I'm just going to make a flat-out call for each game. My call for this game is that at the tight end position, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, my tight end, will outscore his tight end, Zach Ertz, who's currently the number 3 tight end in all of football in fantasy. So we'll see what happens with that. Our next matchup is Barbarians versus Joski, with an original projected score of 84-82, favoring Joski, who I picked again this week. Again, with Joski, it always boils down to Detroit. What's going to happen in that game? If you know who they're playing, what the matchup's like. They're playing Carolina, but they're at home. And I think it's going to be, I think they're both going to put a couple points on the board. They're both solid defenses, both solid offenses. I think it's going to be a nice battle. And enough's going to happen to give them all his Lions players will get a nice, you know, double digits here, double digits there. and I think they're all going to be a decent enough game. No, no rock stars, but just enough to keep them ahead and get them the win. And Craig will have the Rivers to Williams connection, but they're going to be going cross country from LA or San Diego, wherever they're calling home these days, all the way to New York City. And I still think it's going to treat them well. I think it's going to be a bad matchup for those two. And Josie's going to get the win. My call for this game is that Deshaun Watson, who is still on Josie's bench, will outscore Matthew Stafford again this week. And that's my call. Our next matchup is going to be Bag of Dickas versus Chi-Town Beatdown. In this game, I picked Chi-Town Beatdown again as well. The projected score is 83 to 84. But, here's the thing. Steven's starting Case Keenum at his quarterback, and he might not even play this week. There's a chance, decent chance, that Sam Bradford comes back. And even if he doesn't, it's Case Keenum, man. Yeah, I just want to do it. But that's just me. He does have the New York Jets at Cleveland, which a lot of people are picking as a sneaky pick. I just don't see it happening. I think it's his fool's gold. I just don't think, just because I know you play defenses play in Cleveland. I get the theory, but it's not really. It's still an NFL football team. They're still real players, and the Jets defense is pretty freaking bad. The whole Jets defense, offense, everything is pretty freaking bad. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a game for them. While Chi-Town Beatdown has Jordy Nelson going at Dallas, and I do believe that the Newton to Funchess connection will have a good week and get one more touchdown to push Josh over the top. But overall, this game will boil down to, in my opinion, really the Dallas versus Green Bay game, and boil down to Ezekiel Elliott versus Jordy Nelson. And my call of the week is that Jordy Nelson will outscore Ezekiel Elliott, which is, again, why I'm picking Chi-Town Beatdown. Our next matchup is going to be Carlos versus the Chicago Bears. In this game, I picked Carlos as well. But as I was making my notes for this show, I thought, man, I really should have picked Kristen. But then I gave it some more thought, and I saw the reasons why I picked Carlos. So he has Prescott going to Green Bay. And as I said in the last one, I'll probably say it again a couple more times, I think it's going to be a huge game. I think the over-under is like 52 maybe, something like that. But I think it's going to push over that. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, a lot of fireworks, a lot of firepower, and I think Dak Prescott's going to have a really big game. Kristen has Russell Wilson going, who I think is going to have another decent game as well, but he's on the road, and Prescott's at home, and I think that's going to be the advantage. And I think, again, Prescott's going to have a big game. I'm a little bit worried about Carlos's. He has a couple of players on Jacksonville going to Pittsburgh, his defense, and Fournette. I mean, I have faith in Fournette, still getting double digits, but that defense, I just don't know, man. Pittsburgh at home, Pittsburgh looks pretty rough on the road, I know, and it gives you like, oh, I can play this, I can do it. And they get home. The home road splits for Pittsburgh are insane in every category, so I don't know. I'm a little worried about those, but I still picked them. Kristen does have Devontae Parker and Adam Thielen, who I think will both have good games. And my call for this week, for this game, is that Devontae Parker, actually, will outscore all the wide receivers on both teams in this matchup. Our next game is going to be Kneecaps versus the Dirty Slovaks. In this game, I picked Dirty Slovaks. Their original projection was 82 to 69, favoring them. The Kneecaps, they have a lot of question marks right now on their team, with Ty Montgomery, who's probably going to be out, Marquise Lee, who I think is going to be out as well, and he's got, I think, another questionable person in his lineup as well. But he has some nice, actually, backup options on the bench. He has the Minnesota's running back. Name is escaping me right now. And he's got Michael Crabtree, which is actually my call of the week. My call of the week is that Michael Crabtree will be the highest scoring wide receiver on the Kneecap squad this week. Latavius Murray. There you go. So he can put him in for Ty Montgomery. He won't be the same as Ty Montgomery, but I think he'll do a good enough job to keep the score close, or at least closer in the projection. But the Dirty Slovaks, it's really, he finally put in Wentz over Roethlisberger. And again, even with the home road splits, I think Wentz is going to do more damage this week than Roethlisberger. And again, I just think that this week, especially playing Jacksonville, which does have a solid pass defense, I think the Steelers are going to ride the Le'Veon Bell train all day, man. and it's going to be a busy train. I think maybe probably with 20 points. So, yeah, I'm going Dirty Slovaks in that game. The next game we have is Excuses Start Soon versus Nuzzy Futz. Right now, Nuzzy Futz was favored 94-71. And, of course, I picked the favorite in this one. I picked Nuzzy Futz as well. Excuses Start Soon. Yeah, man. He's got Mitch Trubisky in. Who knows? I'm a Packer fan, so of course, I'm scoffing in my head right now the whole theory of any Bears quarterback playing fantasy football. But he looked decent enough in preseason, but he's a rookie, and I don't think it's going to end well for him this week, especially going to Minnesota. Maybe if you could get a nice beginner's course level team like the Jets or the Browns, we'll see what happens. But this is advanced level trigonometry here going up against Minnesota's defense. I don't think it's going to end well for him. Nuzzy Futz has Aaron Rodgers going this week, who I think is going to have a huge game. Again, as I said earlier, this game's going to be big, lights out. And he also has the Baltimore defense at Oakland. I picked him up earlier this week, and I was going to play him. But then I don't know. I like to play home defenses, even on the road ones, even when it's a good matchup against a backup quarterback who's known to throw a couple interceptions. I went back to Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to be nice. Could be really good. Baltimore and Oakland could be a good defense. And again, he has Keenan Allen and Stephon Diggs, who have just been killing it this year, and I think they're going to keep going, keep killing it. My call for this game is that Aaron Rodgers is going to break his projected score, which right now is 21 points. So I am calling for him to score over 21 points for the week. Our last matchup for this week is going to be Heinrich Maneuver versus Yay Boys in Spandex. The original projections were Ben favored 84-73, but in this game I went with the underdog and I picked Yay Boys in Spandex. Ben has again. This is another one of those games. This is another one of those games where after I looked back today, make my notes, I kind of thought man, did I pick the right team? And I'm telling you right now, Ben has Dez Bryant and Randall Cobb, both, again, it's that Dallas-Green Bay game. It's going to be big, and I think they're both, between the two of them, there's going to be 2 touchdowns. I don't know, maybe 1 each, maybe 2 for Dez, 2 for Cobb, I don't know. Between those 2 guys, there's going to be 2 touchdowns scored. And, it's going to be a really close game, but I'm still having to hold on hope. I think Tree's going to be able to pull it out. Because I think Carlos Hyde's going to have a huge day. I think Carlos Hyde's going to have a huge day at Indianapolis. And I really do like Alex Collins. I mentioned him a couple weeks ago in our waiver wire section, and Josh didn't know who he was. But I told you guys, man, he was making some noise. And I think this is the game he's going to start. And I think he might make some really big noise. Might go for over 100 yards. It's going to be a ground game, man. It's going to be Lynch and Collins back and forth. And as long as Collins doesn't fumble in the first quarter, which is a big if at this point, as long as he doesn't fumble in the first quarter, I think he'll get 100 yards and give her a really nice score. And I think her running backs will power her through Heinrich Maneuver and get the win. Of course, she will have to make sure Marcus Mariota is playing today, and if he isn't, she'll have to put in a backup. In this game, my call is that Alex Collins will outscore Ben's Christian McCaffrey. All right, guys, that's our pick'ems for this week. I'm not going to waste my time going through all the Boom or Bust recaps like we're going to. So it's going to be next week. There's going to be 2 weeks of Boom or Bust recaps, the 1 week of my calls recaps. And again, I know I saw 2 other people join us this week again for the pick'ems. Thanks for playing. Keep it coming, guys. And I hope, I'm hoping to still see Joski and Matt's up there. Their karaoke's pretty soon, guys. Let's get it done. And if you're not going to get it done, please just say something. Let me know what's going on. I really don't like the lack of communication. All right, guys, take it easy.